allows you to raise or lower the volume of these 4 different categories in any track that you have. So even if you've already mixed your track and bounced it and rendered it to one single file, one stereo file like you see right here inside of RX, you can still do a little bit of mixing using the voice, bass, percussion, and other gain sliders right here inside of Music Rebalance. You can do really, really cool things, like, for example, bring up a vocal that was maybe recorded and bounced a little bit too low. You can also isolate a vocal by just taking these sliders and bringing them down to infinity and leaving that vocal alone. You can also make an instrumental by getting rid of the vocal and leaving the other instrumental parts like this. So in this video, I'm going to show you how it's done. First thing we're going to do is check out this example track I've got loaded up inside of RX.
Ragamuffin keep on rising to the top. Ragamuffin keep striving in every way. International, what they call me international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm and I come down crucial. I me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady.
All right, so let's see what happens when I leave the voice alone, but get rid of the bass of this track. And I'm going to hit preview. And before we jump into there, I want to talk about sensitivity and the separation algorithms. Sensitivity is essentially how wide of a net these particular parameters will cast when trying to search out voice, bass, percussion, and other. So if you go a little down to 0, things will need to match a lot more precisely than if it's up at 10. If it's up at 10, the net will be larger and you might get a little bit of bleed from the other instruments and stuff. So that's what the sensitivity is all about. And the separation algorithms, you got 3 inside of here. You got channel independent, joint channel, and advanced joint channel. Channel independence, the best when previewing. When you actually preview the music balance module, you're going to be getting a low quality version. So that's something to keep in mind no matter which algorithm you're using, but this channel independent one is going to be the best one for real-time previewing. And I like to leave it on advanced joint channel just because I understand that the preview quality is a little bit low and it's the best separation algorithm inside of Music Balance. You just have to wait a little bit longer when you actually render the track. So that being said, let's go ahead and check this out, what it does with removing the bass from this track.
In every way. International, what they call me international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm and I come down crucial. I me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place with the one jamal skinny.
So you can see there that it's done a very, very good job of removing that subby bass. We can also remove the percussion if I want to come over here, and let's drop that down and go ahead and check that out.
What they call me international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm and I come down crucial. I me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place.
So again, we are getting a little bit of artifacting, and for the most part, that's going to go away once we bounce the render. I'm also going to go ahead and just reduce all 3 of these and try to isolate just that vocal. Let's see how well it does.
Ragamuffin keep on rising to the top. Ragamuffin keep striving in every way. International, what they call me international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm and I come down.
Is that not incredible? That's almost a perfect a cappella. It even picks up some of the delays, the bouncing back and forth on the vocal throughout the track. It's absolutely mind-blowing. So let's try the reverse of this. Let's go ahead and try to just get the instrumental and remove the vocal. So that's doing a really, really good job too. You know, I don't want to get rid of anything. I just want to make the vocal louder in the mix. That's completely doable. Let me pull it up, you know, plus 6 dB. Obviously, I think it was mixed perfectly before, but this will give you an idea of what's possible here. Let's go ahead and preview it.
Ragamuffin keep on rising to the top. Ragamuffin keep striving in every way. International, what they call me international.
That works, and that's going to work the same way with the bass. Maybe the bass was mixed too high. I could pull down the bass. Maybe the percussion was too low. I can pull that up. You can see where we're actually remixing the balance of these instruments without having to have the stems of the track itself. So if you're like restoring old recordings from old shows or your own vinyl and you want to make some changes to it, doing it with the Music Rebalance module inside of RX7